Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Rosefellow Podcast. I'm extremely excited to talk with our guest today. But before so, I want to introduce my partner, Sam Tsoumas. Sam, as always, it's great to do this with you.
Pleasure's all mine, Mike.
I'll let you make the proper introduction.
So we are joined today by Quebec's infamous Jordan Aberman. So let's see the exact title here. Managing Principal of Divco and President of Vista Properties. Jordan, you've been around for over 30 years. You've basically are at the upper echelon in Quebec real estate and development and construction. If I'm not mistaken, this is also the first podcast you've ever done. Thank you very much for joining the Rosefellow Podcast. We're excited to learn about your years of experience and everything you have to teach our viewers.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Sam. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. So for a lot of people listening, this may be the first time they're hearing your name. Even though they've definitely seen your work, how do you usually describe what you do, Jordan?
Well, just in general, we're commercial general contractors. And essentially, we work with our clients to help them realize their visions.
Divco has been around for over 50 years. You've been with the company for about 30 since you became managing principal. Tell us a little bit about how Divco started up.
My dad started the company in 1967. He was working prior to that with a company called BFC, which is British Foundation Company. Very large contractor, size of Pomerleau, probably in the 60s.
Wow.
He met a gentleman by the name of John Tsoumas, 20 years his senior. They hit it off and they left the company. They started Divco. They were operating above a Perrette store, just a couple employees.
I love that. I remember Perrette.
My God.
Right there next to the Porsche, where the Porsche dealership is. And their first job was a staircase for $75,000, concrete staircase.
Wow.
So you're second generation. What made you actually want to join your dad's business? It's not always a given.
Well, when I was 16 years old, my dad told me to get some construction boots.
I love that.
He dropped me off at a job site. There was myself, a project manager, and a foreman. And there was a pump in the ditch, and the pump wasn't working. And I went into the ditch and got the pump to work. And basically, I did 3 years as a laborer on the construction sites. In those days, the son of the boss was allowed to go on the construction site and work. And from there, one summer I did a land study. I remember studying all the land in Laval, Impact 440, all that stuff before it was Impact 440. And the last summer before I graduated university, I worked as a bike courier downtown on a bicycle. That was my one summer off from Divco. And when I graduated, I joined as an estimator. I did a year or two as estimation, went into project management. Then the recession hit of the 90s. Joined, went over to the Vista side, cleaned that up. And then in 1997, went back and have been doing construction and real estate ever since.
I think it's amazing that your dad had you work, we'll call it boots on the ground. Not just bring you in from school and put you into the office. You really got to understand every aspect of that business. Do you see the value in him having done that? And do you do the same thing with your own kids?
No, it's a little different now. Obviously, you can't put your kids on the job sites anymore. I loved it. I loved being a laborer. I loved it. I would get up early, be on the job site for 6:30. That's where I learned my French. My French in the roulotte. I learned my French at break time at 9:30, at 12 o'clock, sitting there with all the laborers. You hear the lingo, you practice. And I like cleaning. I like everything proper. I was cleaning buildings downtown, whatever. I mean, it was just a fantastic experience.
I have a quick question on day one. Since you said you like cleaning, were your boots clean, or did you purposely make them dirty when you showed up on the job site?
Well, let's just put it this way: you kept your boots in a box, and so because they were always dirty, and so you wouldn't go in the house with the boots on. That's for sure.
No kidding. Divco is behind some of the most important projects in the province of Quebec. What makes you most proud when you look back at the company today?
Well, I think what's really enjoyable is our clients that are satisfied when a client tells me they're happy. But really, what I've really enjoyed is working with my staff and the relationships I've built with them. I have employees that have been with me since I've been there.
That's amazing.
And it's just, we just have this bond. It's like a great football team, you know?
And you know, looking back at the last 30 years, you know, you've done a lot, you've accomplished incredible things. What today still keeps you motivated to build, to lead, and to take on new challenges?
I like the problem solving. I like figuring out puzzles. I like figuring out problems that people might have with their projects, etc. I like when a project manager comes into my office and says he's got a problem on site, and we brainstorm and we find the solutions. That really intrigues me.
What I admire, Jordan, about the way you run your business, and many people don't know this, you know, we do a lot of projects together. You're in our office sometimes 2-3 times a week, looking at a project, understanding it, trying to find solutions. I don't know any owner of a business of your size that is still so hands-on to the project. It's amazing to see.
Like sometimes I'll come in the morning, you're even here before me, and you're sitting down with our project managers talking about not even a site that's under construction, pre-development. It's quite impressive to see.
I think our objective is to turn our clients' vision into a physical reality and something that delivers lasting value and pride. I think you guys are very proud of the projects that we do together, and I see your passion and you pushing the envelope in terms of design, and you want the cost to stay the same.
The same, no, less. But here, I'll give you something that I've remarked. What sets you apart, in my view, is the fact that you've been an owner of real estate. You've actually embarked on development. So you come with a level of experience that further supplements our own way of thinking. And sometimes when you see things that are potentially dangerous, or you're able to provide that guidance even as a general contractor. And I think that is quite impressive.
I definitely look at the client's money like it's my money.
We sense that.
That's ingrained in me.
With all the projects that Rosefellow and Divco have done, you know, we often get asked, is Divco an investor in Rosefellow? Is there a partnership beyond construction? I get asked this question all the time. And you know, Jordan, Sam and I...
Let's just talk about the project. So when you answer Mike's question, I'd like you to just first remark on the first time you came in. Secondly, let's talk about the projects we've actually done together. Do you know the numbers?
No,
I actually
don't.
looked at them. All right, so frankly, I think they're quite impressive, and I think they're going to be impressive for our viewers, and I think you're going to be proud of your team. So we've done about 2.1 million square feet of buildings together over 7 projects, and we have another 8 projects earmarked for the next 3 to, let's say, 18 months, which will total 3.1 million square feet. That's impressive, considering the volume. And the way Mike and I always looked at this was, you know, there's an A team within a company, a B team, and you always try to have an A team. And at the amount of square footage that we built together, it's clear your A team is not only your first team, it's your second and third tier group. You should be very proud of that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and in response to the comments we get from people, is there a partnership? There isn't. It's loyalty. Sam and I are extremely loyal to people that we work with that respect us as a company, our team, our budgets, our timelines, and you've done that over and over and over again. And the passion you bring into every project you do with us, for us, that's why there's so much that we do with Divco. It's because of you as a person, because of the team you have behind you. As you know, transparent and honest, you are as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Do you remember the first time you worked with us?
Yeah. I remember the first time we did the Kirkland project together, and we worked hand in hand. We ended up redesigning the buildings. We turned the buildings 90 degrees to the highway.
That's right. We
had a major clay issue that we resolved together. We had every obstacle that the city was putting in front of us to slow us down or whatever. And we overcame all those issues. So, but yeah, once I got past the watches and the tattoos and you told me to take off my blazer, we were all good to go.
So funny thing, so in preparation for this, I was looking back at our early days, And I still have that that text message that you sent Mike, which he cut and sent to me, where you said, "Tell Sam I bought my t-shirts." I still have, that was funny. You did what you had to do to get your foot in the door. Commendable.
Getting back to construction, how important is transparency between a builder and a developer to you, Jordan?
I think one of the things that's really important between us is that when I give you guys a price, I respect it, no matter what happens on site.
Yeah.
And that's been our relationship from the beginning. And, we have to give and take, right?
Absolutely.
It's on tape now.
But that's been our history together, right? So,
absolutely.
So I think that's how I would answer the question.
Can you think of one project we've done together that best represents what we've built?
Well, I answered before about Kirkland.
Mm-hmm. That was the first, yeah. Is that
was
the
the
one that
first.
stands out to you as...
Well, it's definitely, we popped the cherry there together, right? Sam, when you brought me in, Mike, Sam wasn't sure, and then we all start to warm up together.
I've always been the difficult one of the two.
One that stands out to me,
Yeah.
and it may not have been as complicated as Kirkland, it's the one we did in Laval, where we now house Intelcom for 410,000 square feet. And why is because, not only the pre-development and how we work together as one big family to get it to where it had to go, but the fact that we started construction on that project in the month of, I think it was May, and you completed the building 410,000 square feet for December. That's 6.5 months, and I'll never forget we had a groundbreaking ceremony, and we had the mayor of Laval that was there with us, and the building was already on way, structure was already going up, and people were commenting to me after that groundbreaking ceremony saying, Mike, when we pulled up in our cars here 2 hours ago, there was only half the structure up. It seems like in the last hour and a half, 3/4 of it's gone up since. It's incredible how organized your team is, to how quick you can deliver a project. And it's not just delivering quick. The quality you bring to every project is amazing.
And I could even tell you some of your competitors who are also GCs of ours have even remarked how fast that went up. What stands out to me is actually not a completed project. Interestingly enough, it was on some other files that you weren't actually part of, where I think internally we were just struggling with some things, and you came in once and you actually looked at it and you gave us advice and we spoke about it, and even though you had nothing to do with it, the fact that you were there almost as a mentor what stands out to me personally. So we talk about sustainability, LEED, zero carbon. You're a GC. What does that mean to you in actuality? Like when you're building, what does Divco see as true value of these items?
Well, I think it's definitely visionary that you're doing it. You're seeing, you're planning for the future. But I think what's nice is that we're doing our part to save the world from ourselves, because we're human beings that tend to grab, and everything's about success. But you're willing to spend a little bit more money now to try to plan for the future, save ourselves from all the damage that we're doing to the planet.
Something Mike and I have said about that is future generations will not care about our margins. So
Correct.
Now everybody is, everybody's a little bit nervous, we'll call it, with the political situation, everything that's happened over the last, we'll say 5 years, up and downs. What is Jordan Aberman's prediction for 2026?
Hopefully another grandchild.
I love that.
I love that.
That's great. God bless.
Look, no one knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, God willing, your family, your health, those are the important things. Everything else will take care of itself.
I politely disagree. We know that we will be building 3.1 million square feet together.
Jordan, you're a very modest person. What was your dad's message to you growing up?
He worked hard, my dad. I remember Sunday mornings up north, at the end of the table, 2 big briefcases with his paperwork, signing checks, doing his paperwork. My mother screaming at him, "Why do you have to do this?" He says, "This is what it takes," Yep. And my dad was also a very charitable person. He gave a lot of charity to people. So he taught me that also. And I think what sets our company apart internally from other companies is that I let the employees do their job, but they really need help taking care of the things that they can't take care of. So personal issues. Maybe they need a psychologist, maybe they need a doctor, maybe they need an MRI. All those things, they're well trained on how to build a building.
Yeah.
They know how to build a building, but to take care of themselves when they're in trouble, they're having problems with their wife, etc., that's where they really need the help. And if you help them with that, everything else takes care of themselves.
I love that. On to another question. What would you say is one book every investor should reread every year?
Good question. I typically recommend 3 books to people. First book is Who Moved My Cheese? John Wiener gave me that book. Gave it to me in the 90s.
Huh. And who is John Wiener?
From Canderel.
There you go.
Right? So he was one of our mentors when we were young kids, all starting out in our 20s. We ended up in his boardroom for some event, and he handed out this book to everybody. And he says, this is what's happening right now in the 90s, and it's a good thing for people to read now. Second book, very quickly, is The Outliers.
Yes.
I give that to all the employees and tell them to read specifically chapter 2, which is about 10,000 hours. If you don't do your 10,000 hours, you're not going to become an expert in anything.
That's right.
And quickly, book number 3, From Good to Great.
I like that. Yes, I've read that a couple times. Yeah.
Developing the flywheel in business, learning how to do something over and over, getting your business like you guys do. You have a vision, you know what your clients want, you execute, and your success comes from that.
So let's change this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gotten a good sense of Jordan Aberman, the businessman, the general contractor. Let's find out a little bit about the Jordan Aberman, the person. What's your favorite restaurant in Montreal?
My good friend Pino Forgione does a very good job from Beatrice. He's got 3 restaurants. I think he's one of the top restaurateurs in the city.
One sentence your team would use to describe your leadership style.
I think that I delegate to them. I trust them. I show up for work every day. And it's important for them to see that I'm there in the trenches with them. Yeah. That I'm working hard, that I'm there with them. Because construction is not an easy business.
And you know what? As a leader, I admire that, what you just said. You're there early. You leave late. You lead by example. It's easy to say, hey, you got to punch in at 8 and you got to be here till 6. But by you being there, they feel that it's not just them having to do it. They see their mentor, their boss do it. And it sets a great example for the entire company.
So you mentioned Jonathan Wiener, and it's incredible to see transition in Montreal. I consider you one of my mentors in all truthfulness. Let us know, let our viewers know a piece of advice you've received by one of your mentors that stuck with you.
I like reading Warren Buffett. Okay, I think that he's got some great sayings. He's got a great investment philosophy. You can learn a lot from him. He's got a very famous saying. What's the hardest word in business to say?
No.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of his most famous sayings.
Yeah.
And another one is he's got 2 rules in business. First rule is don't lose capital. Second rule, see rule number 1.
I like that. So what would you say is one piece of advice that you'd offer to someone starting in the field? That'd be in construction or development.
Prepare for long hours. Again, going back to working hard. You have to work weekends.
Yeah.
I just remember on getting up early Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, driving around the city, seeing what other people are doing, getting ideas, what's happening. It's just really, it's a full-time 24/7 job. Like if you want to be in business, you want to start a business. I remember telling my wife when we got married, listen, we each have our jobs to do. Don't expect me home for dinner for the next 15 years. If I'm home, it's a bonus. Don't expect me to be home with the kids having dinner. That's not going to happen. Yeah. Okay?
Well, you mentioned stories to me where they go on vacation.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, my family went here. And I'm like, but you mean you went? No, they went.
Yep.
I was at the office.
Yeah, I never went on spring break with my family. I would send them away. It was almost like spring break for me. I got to work, I come home, everything in the house was exactly the same how I left it in the morning, and I got to focus, concentrate, and be with my team.
That's so impressive because, you mentioned a lot of people think that going off on your own, leaving a secure job, a 9-to-5 job, and starting your own company, you're in control of your calendar. So many times people tell me, why do you work so long? Why do you work weekends? You have your own company. You can dictate. You can make your own hours. I agree. You're with what you said. You actually put in so much more time. For us, failure was not an option. A win is just a win. It's another project. Let's move on to the next because we don't know what tomorrow can hold.
There's no work-life balance. I think we all agree on that.
I agree.
There is none.
I think the only real work-life balance is when you have that time with your children, or in your case, your grandchildren, is it's dedicated time with them. It could be an hour. It could be an hour a week, but that hour is focused with them. People who say, if you should spend equal amount of time at work as you do at home. No, because my head will not be there. But when I do spend that hour with my son or my daughter, it's dedicated to them and only them.
It's the small wins you get with your family. If your child graduates high school or university, they get married, they have a child, all these little small wins, everything that you did, all the sacrifice you paid off,
Absolutely. It's also the one that always touches me is when someone says, oh, your kids are so kind. I went to see one of my son's teachers this week, and she's like, he's so respectfully so kind. That's what means something to me. It means I'm doing a good job as a parent to raise them in the right way. They're not, they're not spoiled. They don't walk around like they own the world. That for me is something that means a lot.
I've been saying it often lately, and I think it's the truest words I possibly could say, which is your success is your kids. And your personal success was actually your parents, not yours. We all strive to, push boundaries, be bigger and better. But if our kids are not what we hope them to be, we failed. Our kids are our success.
Don't you feel good when someone calls you up and says, I met your son or your daughter, what a great person they are, or
Absolutely.
What a nice child, you raised them so well?
Best feeling in the world.
Best feeling.
Yeah.
So let's, we all live in Quebec. There's always a political, there's always politics involved in Quebec. I think this would not be a proper podcast with such a prominent businessman as yourself if we didn't just talk the political environment a little bit. Andrew Lufty, who's a very prominent owner of a large retail empire, I think he's also in development. Not a thing. He is.
It's incredible. He's Zistrant. You think of the Four Seasons downtown Montreal, the Royal Mount Shopping Center, and all this started from him being in retail with Dynamite and Garage.
He basically, in my view, changed the landscape of many parts of Montreal. He came out recently and said some very controversial things about our political and governmental structure. Would you like to weigh in on it and give a little bit to viewers an idea of what he said and your thoughts?
Right. So you used the word controversy. I don't think it's controversial. I think he spoke the truth. And not enough people do it in Quebec because we get scared that people are haters and they beat us down. But what he's saying is the truth is that we're in a world where we're all competing with each other, every place. And we have to compete. He needs people. He needs the right kind of people to compete. And you can't get them in Quebec necessarily.
That's right.
Because of certain policies as they relate to maybe the language, etc. What we need here in Canada and Quebec and Montreal is we really need great leaders. And I think that the leadership that we've seen over the last 10 years was provincial or federally with Justin Trudeau, even most recently with Bill Ford. How bad a leadership was that? We have Carney. He's trying his best to get just a slight win with Trump, a slight negotiation win. He's in the top of the ninth, going to the bottom of the ninth. They're imminently going to sign an agreement, and he publicizes the ad. So we need change. We're ready. The baby boomers have maxed out the credit cards.
Yeah.
They're all going into retirement. They basically said to us as their children, here's my credit card, it's maxed out, but you still have to support me going forward.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, part of the comments were evidently the Quebec taxation structure it's very difficult for owners of businesses. And Divco has been around for 50 years. You've been at the helm for 30. Have you ever considered moving Divco out of province?
No, I think that this is my home. It hasn't always been this severe. The economic environment or the policies that the Legault government has put into place. So I've made my career here. I've been successful here. I think businessmen find a way to constantly maneuver, but Quebec will not be able to compete with other provinces and other states for capital with the policies that we have in place.
That's right.
And that's what Andrew's saying is he can't compete if he doesn't have the right employees.
Yeah.
I mean, Couche-Tard essentially is relocated in New York City, right? Major corporations, Air Canada is essentially based out of Toronto. And so on. I mean, I could go down the whole list of...
That's why it's commendable that you stuck by our province. And I think I speak the same for Rosefellow. I think Quebec will always be home. Doesn't mean we won't grow out of province, but Quebec is home. Any final thoughts about Rosefellow, about your career, about advice? Any advice for Mike and I that you'd like to share? Just
not that you haven't given us some. Over the last 6 years, we've spoken many times. You've given us some great advice, and to Sam's point, we do consider you a mentor. You do lead by example. It's humbling to see how you run a business, and we strive to do the same and have the same respect from our team as your team gives you.
I'll summarize it by, some of the things we talk about are not necessarily for the podcast, but I'll summarize it by, I have 5 rules to life. Okay. And I'll tell you my 5 rules of life. Okay. Rule number 1, marry for love. Just, if you're ever going to get married, only get married for love. Don't get married for any other reason. Okay. Rule number 2, marry somebody who'll take care of you. So the person that you've met, make sure they whether they cook dinner and you do the dishes, they do the wash, you do the folding, you help clean the house, etc. It has to be a partnership. You really want somebody, if you find that you're the only one giving and the other one's not giving, might not be the right relationship. After that, rule number 3, it's not over till it's over. Like in business, you can't give up. Yeah. You have to take it right to the end. And if you've taken it and then you have to take it further. And Sam's famous for this because he doesn't want to hear anything about this, that. No, go back. Yeah. So Sam definitely lives by that rule, that's for sure. Rule number 4 is don't make a major decision without sleeping on it first.
Oh, that's an important one.
You really need to take your time on a major decision.
Yeah.
No. Take 24 hours, take 40 hours before you make any major decision. Have a good night's sleep. I find that when I sleep on things, you wake up in the morning, the solution becomes more apparent. You've had your time to rest, etc. And rule number 5, which you like the most, is buy real estate. Those are the 5 rules of life.
Absolutely.
Real estate's a great investment, whether you're just buying a home, you have appreciation, you have leverage, you have inflation. It's a fantastic investment. It's forced savings for people.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic investment for just anybody, whether it's a condo, a house, an industrial building, etc.
Got to say, Jordan, it's been a thrill having you here. I know we've been poking at you for a while to come onto this podcast. And again, we thank you. We know you don't do this often. So thank you for coming out of your shell and being with us and giving a bit of insight to who you are as a person, company, to our listeners. Again, we encourage all those listening to subscribe, share the episode, and follow Rosefellow on social media. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you very much for having me.
Jordan.
Thank you.
Thank you.